High-stakes meeting between top U.S. and Chinese diplomats, the first since the U.S. shot down that Chinese spy balloon. ABC's Mary Alice Parks is at the White House this morning. Good morning, Mary Alice. Both sides still digging in.
Good morning, Janae. Yeah, U.S. officials described this meeting as rather tense and confrontational. Like you said, it was the highest level meeting between these two countries since that Chinese spy balloon entered U.S. airspace. We're told the meeting lasted about an hour and that Secretary of State Blinken told his Chinese counterpart in no uncertain terms that the spy balloon was unacceptable, irresponsible, that something like that must never happen again. But the Chinese remain dug in, too. They still publicly claim that it was a research balloon, and they've blasted the U.S. for what they say was an indiscriminate use of force when the balloon was shot down. They say the U.S. needs to fix the relationship. And Blinken said after that he did not get any kind of apology. And beyond the spying program, the U.S. has really been warning China this week, too, that there will be real consequences if it helps Russia with its war in Ukraine, either by sending any kind of lethal assistance or by helping them get around sanctions. It is clear that the White House wants there to be open lines of communication with China to make sure that situations don't escalate. But there is a real concern that the relationship between these two superpowers is at a new low not seen in decades. Janae?
A real concern, Mary Alice. Thank you. For more analysis now, let's turn to Martha Raddatz. We'll be hosting This Week later on this morning. She spoke with Secretary of State Blinken right after that high-stakes meeting. Let's take a look.
Wang Yi has said of the Chinese spy balloon, the whole shoot-down incident, that it was absurd and hysterical and said Cold War mentality is back. Is that the message you got from him?
I don't want to characterize what he said to me, Martha, but I think here in Munich, too, what we know is we are not the only ones on the receiving end of the Chinese spy balloons. More than 40 countries have had these balloons go over their territory, and this goes back some years. And I think countries are, I was going to say pleased, but pleased is the wrong word. They appreciate the fact that we've exposed it.
All right, Martha, I mean, the Secretary of State, they're trying to put a positive spin on it, that it has been exposed now. But the fact of the matter is the U.S. really can't do anything to stop these spy balloon flights.
Well, I think the spy balloon program might really be crippled as far as the Chinese go, because the U.S. is going to find out so much about that spy balloon, how they operate, what the Chinese are doing, because they have gotten a lot of the debris, including a big chunk of the payload where all the surveillance equipment was. So they're going to have some hard evidence to show to the Chinese, and that does put the U.S. in a better position to do something about this. And you also heard the president say, look, we'll shoot down anything that we think is a threat.
Okay. And you asked about concerns that China may start supplying Russia with lethal aid for the war in Ukraine.
Yes, the Secretary Blinken was very firm on that they have seen evidence that they are trying to provide or will try to provide this lethal aid to Russia. They've given other kinds of aid, but not lethal aid so far. So this was a very strong message from the Secretary.
Extremely concerning when relations with China and the U.S. are already at such a low. Martha, thank you so much. And just a reminder that this morning on This Week, Martha will interview Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Republican Senator Lindsey Graham about the war in Ukraine and deteriorating relations between the U.S. and China.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.